Number 83, and Sayreville will kick it from left to right on your screen. Back deep for North Brunswick. Number 44 is Darryl Banks. He stands at the 5-yard line. And also deep for the Raiders, number 15, Raul Mistry. And this ball game is underway. It's a line drive kick to Mistry. He's at the 10, to the 15, to the 20, has a nice hole momentarily, and takes it up across the 25-yard line. North Brunswick will put it in play there. The Raiders first down and 10 at the 27-yard line. Should mention Jeff Kurtzman not with us this evening. Jeff a little bit under the weather, so we wish him the best. Hope he gets back on his feet quickly. Hopefully Jeff will be back next week on Central Jersey High School football. It's a pretty brisk night. Temperature about 45 degrees at game time. There is a threat of rain. Hopefully we'll get the game in before the rains come. All right, the Raiders come up. First down, 10. Opening at quarterback is Dan Rudders. They give it to Gerald Ruffin, the halfback, and he has about 5 on the carry. Let's take a look at the North Brunswick offense. Here's the Raiders up front. Cartagena is the center. Jancic and Theokas on the left side. Mike Theokas, quite a specimen, 6'7", 295. Mike Rosano and Jason Rock on the right side. Matt Petrillo, a good tight end. We'll give it the offensive backfield after this play. Second down and 5, and the ball is marked at the 35-yard line. Here's the pitch, Steve Betcher. And he's hit behind the line of scrimmage and driven down. He loses about 3 on the play, and a third down and 8 coming up. Let's take a look at the Raiders' offensive backfield. Yatsko is the split end. We just saw Steve Betcher carry the football. He's the leading ground gainer for North Brunswick this season. Adam Rockoff and Gerald Ruffin are the halfbacks, and the quarterback, Kevin Sayata. The junior, 5'6", 140 pounds, playing with a banged-up shoulder, has a bad shoulder. Has 5 touchdowns passing this season. And he's back to throw. Play action, rolls out left side. Now he lets it go, and it's nearly intercepted, but caught. And that's a completion for North Brunswick and a first down. Jason Yatsko pulls it in, and the Raiders get a break early. They'll move the sticks. Here's the Sayreville defense, and a good defense it is. It's played terrific ball this year. Ed Tejada and Sean Kilcommons, the defensive ends. MacLennan and Kirk, the tackles. We'll give you the linebackers and defensive backfield after this play. Here is the give up the middle. Betzger picks up perhaps 3. There's the defensive backs. Gonzalez, inside linebacker. Rathbone, Sandrio, the outside linebackers. Fisher, Fulton, and Warden are in the defensive backfield. The other inside linebacker, Scott Consolet. There's a nice play by the Raiders to Gerald Ruffin. Sayata makes the throw. So Kevin Sayata with the pass. And again, they move the sticks. Raiders are moving the football. Nice rollout pass. Just underway, first quarter, 9.5 remaining. And North Brunswick on the initial drive of the game. Split backs behind Sayata, and they give it to the... No, they throw, play action, incomplete. Excellent job of play faking. Matt Petrillo, the tight end, was open down the field. He had single coverage. Good job by the Raiders. North Brunswick has been hit by a lot of injuries this year, according to head coach Steve Libro, trying to fight back from those early season injuries. Second down, 10, and a huge hole, and nice running by Steve Betcher. And he's got good yardage again on that left side behind big left tackle Mike Theokas, 6'6", 295, a Division I prospect. effect. Third down and call it 2. Raiders moving smartly down the field. Ball marked at the Sayreville 35. And another huge hole for Betcher again. Steve Betcher, the fullback, getting the brunt of the carries for the North Brunswick Raiders this year. He's a senior, 5'8", 176 pounds, had over 1,000 yards last year and a 5.7 average per carry. 13 touchdowns a year ago as well. First and 10. Inside the 30-yard line at the 28. Fumble on the snap, and it looks like the Raiders recovered. Sayada pounced on it, so a little bit of a mishap, but North Brunswick gets it back, and a second down and 11 as they lose a yard on the play. Ball marked back at the 29.
Come on, G. Hey, come on, Kevin. Come on, oh, let's go, baby. Come on.
Here's Betzger again. He's hit by the interior of the Bomber line and driven back. James Kirk, Mike MacLennan, the two big defensive tackles on the play. MacLennan, 6'3", 210 pounds. Kirk, the 6'2" junior. And now North Brunswick forced into a third down and long, 3rd and 10. 7:47 remaining and counting down in the first quarter. No score. Sayada rolls out right side. Now he's looking to throw. He lets it go long. Has a receiver. It's nearly intercepted. And the coverage offered by the cornerback, Craig Fulton, intended for the tight end, Petrillo. 4th down coming up for the Raiders. And Coach Libro has his first decision of the game. That Sayreville defense has been extremely physical this year. They've given up just 64 total points with that red division schedule. They've been tough. 4th down, 10. And the Raiders will go. And there's movement by North Brunswick. Here's the give up the middle. It's not enough for a first down. Carrying the football was Darrell Banks. He's a sophomore, 5'9", 170 pounds. But again, there was movement on the North Brunswick line. Let's see what Sayreville does here. They probably will decline. Illegal motion is the call, and it is declined by the Bombers. So Sayreville takes over on down as the Bomber defense holds. Sayreville coming out on offense. They're led by their fine quarterback, Brendan Burke, 6 foot, 180 pound senior. A fine athlete. And he's the big play guy on Sayreville. We'll give you the Bomber offense after this play. First down and 10 at the 21-yard line. I formation for Sayreville. Caballero, the split end, splits out left side. Second man through is Eric Warden, who carries the football, the tailback, 5'10", 175 pound senior. Got good yardage, pickup of 6. Second down, 4. Let's take a look at the Sayreville offensive line. Up front, Tejada is the center. Lefsky and Kirk on the tight side. They'll line up with the tight end on that side. Benedict and Grosswheeler are the split side. They'll line up with the split end. And the tight end is Mike MacLennan, 6'3", 210 pounds. Again, they go off tackle and the surge up ahead by that Bomber offensive line that you just took a look at. That should be enough for a first down. Eric Warden again on the carry. They move the sticks. There's the Sayreville offensive backs. Caballero, the split end. Fisher is the wing back. He'll line up sometimes as a slot or a flanker. Scott Mish, the fullback. Warden, the tailback, and Brendan Burke is the quarterback. First down and 10, Bombers at the 32. And again, they try to run it up the middle, but this time the Raider defensive line will have nothing to do with that. They handed it to the fullback, Scott Mish. He was nailed at the line of scrimmage. Second down coming up. Let's take a look at the Raider defense. Up front, the defensive line. The ends are Rosano and Lakatos. Abode and Benson are the defensive tackles. Caruso, the nose guard. Good size on that Raider defensive line. We'll give you the linebackers and defensive backs after this play. Second down, 9, 5.5 remaining, first quarter, no score. Here's the pitch outside. Warden turns the corner and picks up about 5 on the carry. And a third down, and actually they give him a 6-yard gain. 3rd and 4 coming up. Defensive backs, Petrillo and Kaeleigh, the linebackers. Mystery, Osborne, and Kaeleigh, the defensive backs. Third down, call it 4. I formation for Sayreville. At the 38, here's Warden, bounces to the outside, and he will not get there. Raiders play very well.
It will be 4th down.
Good job by that North Brunswick defense to stop it up. Sayreville will have to punt.
Come on, God.
Back in punt formation, Brendan Burke punts with his left foot, kind of an oddity. He throws righty and punts lefty. Fumbles on the play, and there's a lot of bodies diving for the football. It would appear that Sayreville has it, but there's a penalty marker on the play as well. We'll have to wait till we sort this out. Face mask against Sayreville, but it is Bomber football. So North Brunswick with the first miscue of the game, and the Bombers have an opportunity. They'll move them back. 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Sayreville still on the drive now as it's kept alive by the fumble. And a first down and 10 as they mark the ball back at the 42-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 44. And the officials now will confer as to what actually should be happening on the field now with that penalty. Is say possession of Sayreville, no doubt about that, on the fumble. But then the face mask penalty, and they're talking it over as the placement of the football. The Sayreville Bombers, 4-2-1. One of their finest seasons in a very long time. They played good football this year. North Brunswick also has played good football. That 3-4 record is deceptive. They have played a tough schedule and have been in every game. Here's a first down and 10. And the pitch to Warden, cuts it back in. Eric Warden is across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And he's upended there by Dwayne Benson, defensive tackle. Second down, 9. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first. No score. Probably will. On the second down and 9 at the 45. Burke throws over the middle and has his tight end MacLennan. A quick opener at the 40-yard line of North Brunswick, and that's a Bomber first down. Mike MacLennan, 6'3", 210-pound tight end. Brendan Burke came into the game 55% efficiency on the season. Now Sayreville only throws about 8 or 9 passes per game. But Burke certainly capable of putting the ball up in the air. Nice, good-looking play that last time. First down and 10. Sayreville at the North Brunswick 40. Here's a little bit of a reverse. They give it to Tim Fisher, who's got good yardage across the 35. Some misdirection, and they handed it to the wingback, but a penalty marker on the play. Face mask, North Brunswick, and this will tack it on. All the way down to the 20-yard line. The Bombers are in business here. Sayreville with a first and 10 at the North Brunswick 20. 2:24 remaining in the first quarter. I formation for Sayreville. Burke pitches to Wharton, turns the corner, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Over to make the play was Mystery, coming up from his cornerback position. Pickup of 3, second down 7. Ball at the 17-yard line. North Brunswick has been tough defensively throughout the season, and right now they're looking to dig in. Wharton dragged down from behind, a short pickup, maybe a yard. Dan Caruso, the nose guard, rode him on the back and brought him down. Nice play by the North Brunswick nose guard. Caruso, a junior, 5'7", 158 pounds. Called him Dan Caruso, Don Caruso. And now, timeout taking Sayreville. So the Bombers call their first timeout of the game. 1:55 remaining first quarter. Timeout on the field. Sayreville nothing, North Brunswick nothing.
Hi, I'm James Polos, inviting you to join me each week for Pressing Issues, TKR Channel 6's new public affairs program, where the news writers meet the newsmakers.
Bombers have the football at the Raider 16-yard line. Here's the give up the middle. Scott Consolet. Tough runner inside. 6'2", 215, a senior. And he comes in on short yardage. That was a 3rd and 6, but he just plowed right up the middle. And he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It's first and goal, Bombers at the 8. 1.5 minutes remaining, first quarter. Consolet again, inside the 5. The surge takes him down near the 3. And a penalty marker on the play. Holding against Sayreville, and this will back the Bombers up. That's a tough penalty against the Bombers inside the 5-yard line. Big break for the Raiders. And this will back Sayreville back and takes them all the way to the 19-yard line. That's tough when you have a second down and goal at the 19. Actually, a first and goal at the 19.
I wouldn't want to, like...
Burke rolls out, left side, turns the corner, fumbles the ball. It looks like it might have been recovered by the Raiders. We'll wait and see. And a lot of pushing and shoving down there. A penalty marker goes up as well. So we'll have to wait to sort this out. It appears that Sayreville recovered. And here comes the call. Unsportsmanlike conduct against North Brunswick. That'll push Sayreville closer to the North Brunswick goal line. Burke turned the corner, and then Brendan had the ball stripped away from him. It was recovered by the Bombers, but they're back inside the 10-yard line. They're at the 7. Second and goal at the 7. They were back at the 19. This has been a bizarre last couple of plays. Clock is winding, 45 seconds remaining first quarter. Second down and goal at the 7. Kaeleigh, and he's down near the 2-yard line. Mark it at the 3. Third and goal, Sayreville at the 3. Ten seconds remaining in the quarter. We'll see if they get this one off. Burke calls the signals. I formation. Kaeleigh, is he in? He pushes ahead, and he's brought down at the 1-yard line. So he is not in. It'll be a 4th down and goal, but we'll have to wait until quarter number 2. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Sayreville nothing, North Brunswick nothing. Here's the give up the middle. Kaeleigh, touchdown, Sayreville. So the Bombers punch it in. A nice drive as they take it in the beginning of the second quarter.
Number 24, Tom Roberts, lines up for the extra point.
In to kick the extra point for the Bombers, Tom Roberts, number 24. Snap is good, kick is up, kick is no good. It is wide to the right. Breaking the action, 11 minutes, 56 seconds remaining. Second quarter. Got confused for a moment. It is 6-0. Sayreville on top.
I broke my back because I was doing this on the field. Listen to that one.
Bombers lead it by the score of 6-0. Here's Mystery. He's at the 10, to the 20. Angles up the middle and gets crunched down at the 25-yard line. So the Raiders will go on offense there. Kevin Sayada comes out at quarterback. He's a junior. May see some of Dan Rutter's at that position as well, as we mentioned. Sayada a little banged up, but he's going now. He sends a receiver split out right side. That's Jason Yatsko. Betcher is in motion. He has, nope, not Betcher. It is Gerald Ruffin who takes the pitch, and he's up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Nice pickup of about 4. Actually 5. Second down 5 coming up for the Raiders. Ruffin, pretty good speed. Is a junior, 5'10", 145 pounds. Tough running, Betcher. And he's close to the 35-yard line. Third down coming up, but a short. Third down and 2.
3rd and 2 for the Raiders.
Steve Lebro, you just saw him, head coach of North Brunswick. Here's Betcher. He fights for first down yardage. I'm not sure he got there. In on the tackle, Brian Rathbum, outside linebacker. And it's fourth down. Fourth down and 1. At the 36. This is an interesting call in the second quarter. North Brunswick will go for it on a 4th and 1 in their own territory at the 36. Trailing 6-0. Big play early. Full house backfield for the Raiders. 4th down 1. Give Betcher. Did he get there? It depends on the mark. He got to about the 37. And it is a first down for the Raiders. So North Brunswick gamble, and it pays off. Their first gamble of the game. They move the sticks. You got a running back like Steve Betcher. He can take that gamble. Over 600 yards this year coming in. Over 1,000 a year ago. Fine running back. First down 10. Turns the corner, he takes it in, and a nice gain by the North Brunswick quarterback as he turned it in nicely. He's up near the 45-yard line. They'll mark it at the 44. Second down and 3 coming up for the Raiders. 9 minutes remaining second quarter. Sayreville 6 and North Brunswick nothing. Here's the give, and pulled down at the line of scrimmage. A fine defensive play by Rich Sandrio, outside linebacker number 52. And Sean Kilcommons, the defensive end, also over there to nail Gerald Ruffin. And a 3rd and 3 coming up. That Bomber defense has given up an average of only 125 yards per game. Outstanding. Man in motion. It's the halfback Adam Rockoff, hit behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. Brian Rathbum. Also Scott Consolet in on the play. But Rathbum was the man who got in with the penetration. And a 4th down, and the Raiders will have to punt the football away. 2 fine defensive plays by Sayreville on the last 2 sequences. Cavallero goes back deep for the Bombers. He stands at his own 30-yard line. Kaeleigh is in punt formation. Gets it away. It was not Kaeleigh. Yes, Jeremy Kaeleigh, number 40. We had him listed as 42. He's 40. Kaeleigh kicks it away, and Sayreville will have the football. 7 minutes, 17 seconds remaining, and Sayreville goes on offense. They come in. The ball at the 29-yard line. Bombers scored on their last possession. They drove down the field nicely.
The Bombers start from their own 29-yard line.
I formation. Here's the give, off tackle, not much there. Eric Warden on the carry. And he was knocked down by Dwayne Benson. Benson, 5'6", 294 pounds. Size. Second down and 10 at the 29-yard line. 6.5 remaining here in the second quarter. Here's Warden again, hit behind the line of scrimmage, and again, it's Benson on the play. He's doing an outstanding job stopping up that hole. Also in there was Tony Abode, number 61, defensive tackle.
Brings up a 3rd and 12 for the Bombers.
3rd down and 12.
Let's go, defense! Go, D!
You can hear some calls from the North Brunswick sideline to the defense. 3rd and 12. Here's a quarterback draw, Brendan Burke, and he stopped up after a gain of about 4 or so, but not nearly enough for a first down, and the Bombers will have to punt.
Burke is a 4-yard line, 4 yards, leaving a 4th and 8.
4th down and 8. And Burke will drop back into punt formation. And North Brunswick will send Darrell Banks back deep.
4th and 8.
He'll drop back to about his 35-yard line. Fast-moving first half. And Burke gets it away. It's a line drive kick. Nice catch by Banks, but he fumbles the football, and Sayreville has it. It was a tough play to handle. It was up over his head, and he couldn't hold on. Scott Kaeleigh got down and recovered, and the Bombers have another opportunity after a North Brunswick turnover, their 2nd turnover of the game. Both times on punts. 1st and 10 at the 31, and a timeout called, so we'll take a timeout as well. 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, 2nd quarter. Sayreville 6 and North Brunswick nothing.
Hi, I'm Robin Camps, inviting you to
Football, and Kaeleigh took it into the end zone on a 1-yard run, 4th down and 1. They missed the extra point. That's all the scoring we've had so far. But the Raiders have turned the ball over twice here in the first half, and Sayreville has been able to get an opportunity to keep drives alive. It's a cool, crisp night at North Brunswick for this early November night game, but it's not totally freezing. Temperature right now 47 degrees, and that's not bad football weather. Here's a 1st down and 10 at the 32. Burke looking to throw, has a receiver wide open. Touchdown, Sayreville. Mike MacLennan, the tight end. Beautifully thrown ball by Brendan Burke, and MacLennan was wide open. And the Bombers lead it 13-0. They take advantage of the North Brunswick miscue. Now there seems to be another timeout. Sal Mastretta, the Sayreville head coach, has come out to talk to his team. We'll keep it right here with 4 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. And they're talking about, I guess, the possibility of going for 2 since they missed the extra point on the first series. What is?
He looked like he was in black and white before. Oh, okay.
4 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. The score is 12-0. Sayreville on top. I mistakenly said it was 13-0. It's 12-0. Director Dave Garp said I'm a little bit ahead. Yes, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Because they don't have Kurtzman here to keep me in control, you know? All right, here's a bizarre formation for the Bombers. Looks like Burke is back in a shotgun formation. He pitches it outside, and a terrific defensive play. Coming up for the Raiders was Steve Barry, number 23. He made the play, and Burke pitched it outside to Cavallero. And now we have a break in the action. 4 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. Second quarter, Sayreville 12, North Brunswick nothing.
Get another shot and then you go to the back.
Second quarter, and there's an injured Bomber on the field. I believe it is Jim Cavallero, the split end, who took a shot as he tried to turn the corner on the two-point conversion try. Sayreville scoring on a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Scott Consilet, and then they get the long touchdown pass, 38 yards. It was Brendan Burke to Mike MacLennan. And you can see the Bombers coaches. And they finally will help Cavallero off the field. And actually, that's a good sign as Jim walks off under his own power. 10 receptions coming in on the year. 10.5 average per reception, 5'10", 170-pound senior. Hopefully, he'll be back in the game. Kempton will kick it off. It's a short kick, and again, the ball is loose, but the Raiders this time fall on the football inside their 30-yard line. They'll mark it at the 28. That's where North Brunswick will go on offense. They've got a little bit of catching up to do. Raiders are down by 12.
Who's doing announcements for North Brunswick?
First down and 10.
First and 10 from the Raider 28-yard line. Under 4:30 left in the first half.
4:20 remaining. Here's a nice gainer right here. Pickup of about 8 yards, running hard with the football was Banks, number 44. A second down and 1 at the 38-yard line. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Sayada's got the football, running the option, and is banged down, but he's got the first down at the 40-yard line.
On the 40-yard line.
And on the tackle was Rich Estandrio. Marked the ball just outside the 40.
Maybe we should do it, guys.
First down. And not much yardage there as the Bombers play it well behind the line of scrimmage. Consilet is on the tackle, and he nails Gerald Ruffin. Second down and 10.
Second and 10 from the 40-yard line. 2:47 left in the half.
Sayada back to throw. He's in trouble. Lets it go. It's nearly intercepted and incomplete. It was off of the hands of Brian Rathbun. And then Tim Fisher made a dive for it. Goes as incomplete. Third down and 10. throw. Lets it go long. Into coverage. It's incomplete as two Bomber defenders ran into each other. Intended for a roughing, but there was good coverage back there. Harry McKelney was number 13, and also Fisher back there as well. Craig Fulton, entire Sayreville defensive backfield, basically. 4th down and 10, and the Raiders will kick it away. Sayreville's looking to get the ball back. Kaeleigh back into the game. That's good news for Bomber fans. He's at the 30-yard line. And Jeremy Kaeleigh into punt. It's a good snap, and he gets it away. An end-over-end kick that bounces at the 35. And North Brunswick will down it there. Sayreville will get the ball at their own 35-yard line. 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining here in this first half. 12-0 the score.
Sayreville takes over at their own 35, 1-10 with 2:16 left in the first half.
Got on both sides here. You can see across the field there. Good contingent from Sayreville. Bomber fans have really come out this year and supported their club well. 2 minutes remaining here in this first half. First down and 10 at the 35. Here's Burke, and they give on an inside reverse, and Fisher gets good yardage. He was one step away from breaking it. Tim Fisher, 5'6", 160-pound senior. He had a fine game this year against Madison Central. 3 touchdowns against the Spartans. He runs out of that wing-back formation. 2nd down and 2. Ball marked at the 42. Here's the pitch to Eric Warden, who is upended behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. Penetration nicely done by the Raiders that time. Steve Lakatos got in there. And also Dwayne Benson covers up. 3rd down and call it 2. The 43-yard line. Got to get to about the 45 for a first down. Just a minute remaining in this second quarter. High formation for the Bombers. And they pitch it wide. This is McKelney on a halfback option. And it's knocked away on a super defensive play because Kaeleigh was wide open. But getting over there for the Raiders to make the play was Kaeleigh. Nice play by Jeremy Kaeleigh. He saved the touchdown there. That could have been 6. 48 seconds remaining in the first half, and Sayreville will go for it. 4th down and 2. First man through. Did he get there? They moved the pile. It appears it should be enough for a first down. Scott Mish carried the football, and he got across the 40-yard line, 45-yard line. So they mark it at the 46, and with 44 seconds remaining, the Bombers will have an opportunity to get some more plays. There's a timeout on the field. 44 seconds remaining here in this second quarter. 12-0. Sayreville on top, in case you just joined us. Bombers were able to run the ball in on their first offensive series, and then the touchdown pass from Burke to MacLennan. That's where we stand. What's up, North Brunswick fans? Nice night for football. Here we go, Sayreville with 44 seconds left. Let's see what Coach Mistretta has up his sleeve here. What Sayreville tries to do. I formation. Receiver split out left side. There's the throw over the middle. And Fisher makes the catch. He's down to the 40-yard line of North Brunswick. Nice pass by Burke. quickly to the line of scrimmage, no huddle. 38 seconds remaining. Remember, the clock stops until they move the chains in high school football. Here is Burke back to throw. They set up the screen. It's tapped and intercepted. An outstanding play. Mike Rosano. That's an outstanding play. Tipped the ball up to himself and made the interception. That stops that Sayreville drive with 29 seconds remaining, and now the Raiders have an opportunity to get something going. They take a timeout. And we'll take a break as well. 29 seconds remaining. First half, 12-0 Sayreville. North Brunswick with 29 seconds remaining and trailing by 12. Have an opportunity. They'll send twin receivers split out right side. One back behind Sayada, the quarterback, and he's straight back to throw. He lets it fly and has a receiver, and then taking it out of bounds, and for a Raider first down is Rockoff. And North Brunswick sets it up at the 39-yard line. 24 seconds remaining. And a penalty marker on the play. Must have been thrown on the near sideline. I didn't originally see it. Personal foul against Sayreville. That hurts the Bombers. This will mark off 15 freebies for the Raiders. Takes it all the way down inside the 25-yard line. They'll mark it as the 24.
First and 10 from the
24 seconds left. Plenty of time for the Raiders. They set up quickly. Again, twin receivers split out right side and Rockoff in the slot. Back is Sayada. He looks. Now he fires. It is caught. No, out of bounds. Heck of a catch by Rockoff, but he was out of bounds. Didn't get the 1 foot in. Clock does stop, though, with the incomplete pass. 19 seconds. Second and 10.
Second and 10 from the 24. 19 seconds remaining in the half.
The kid you hit with that kid thinks he's hurt.
Sayada now pulls it down. He'll run, and he is busted down at the 25-yard line. And the clock is winding. Under 10 seconds remaining as the Raiders line up quickly. They're going to look to get this off. 3 seconds, 2. They do. Sayada now back to throw. Being chased. He lets it go towards the end zone. It is incomplete, and the half will come to an end. So, pretty entertaining first half of football. Your score at halftime is Sayreville 12, North Brunswick nothing. The rest of the Channel 6 Sports crew, of course, is here as we bring you Central New Jersey high school football. The North Brunswick Raiders and the Sayreville Bombers. Both teams looking to finish the season with a winning record, and Sayreville can assure themselves of that with a win here tonight. Bombers will receive the opening kickoff of the second half, and North Brunswick will be kicking from right to left on your screen. Here's Rockoff, who kicks it off. It's a high kick and a deep kick. It's taken by Burke at the 5. He's to the 10, to the 15, makes a nice cut. Brendan Burke at the 30, to the 35, and he makes another nice cut, still on his feet, and brings it back all the way into North Brunswick territory across the 45-yard line. Nice run back by Brendan Burke, who is also the Sayreville quarterback. 6 foot, 180-pound senior. Sayreville with great field position to begin the second half. They're in North Brunswick territory at the 45. In case you just joined us, 2 North Brunswick fumbles in the first half led to Sayreville scores. Sayreville with a 1-run touchdown plunge by Scott Consiele, and then a 38-yard pass from Brendan Burke to Mike MacLennan, the tight end, beautifully executed. And that's where we are, 12-0. Handoff up the middle to the fullback, Scott Mish, and he picks up 2. Second down and 8. The ball is marked at the 42-yard line. Raiders had some moments in the first half, but unable to get it going consistently offensively. Defense, for the most part, played pretty well. Here's an I formation. And the give is to the wing back inside. That's Fisher, and he's drilled back. Nice defensive play by Tony Abode. He's a senior, 5'5", 206 pounds. North Brunswick's got pretty good size on that defensive line, and Sayreville now with a 3rd down and 10 at the 45-yard line. We mentioned Sayreville, of course, could wrap up a winning season with a win here today. North Brunswick also would look pretty good with a winning season if they could win tonight. They'll take on South Brunswick. Never an easy job in a emotion-packed Thanksgiving Day game, but the Raiders, you would think, would be favored in that one. Whistles on the play, and it looked like from this angle that the Raiders might have jumped, but we'll have to wait and see. Temperature at 46 degrees as we begin the second half. No, it's illegal procedure against the Bombers. This will back them up 5. Take it to midfield, and Sayreville will be faced with a 3rd down and 15. No wind to speak of tonight. It's a pleasant night for high school football in November. You could get some pretty nasty weather at this time of the year, but it's chilly, but as I mentioned, not a bad night at all. 3rd down and 15. I formation. Here is Burke, straight back to throw. Lets it go. He's hit as he lets it go, and he took a shot. He does get up, and the ball falls incomplete. 4th down, Sayreville will go into punt formation. Clock stops at 10:11 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 2 ball clubs, or 2 fine coaches in this game. Sal Mistretta has turned the Sayreville program around. Got them playing very competitive football in a tough division, the red division, and Steve Leesborough has always been a fine coach here at North Brunswick. He's had some fine teams. Here's Kaeleigh, takes the hit, but makes a nice return across the 25-yard line to the 27. Tackle for the Bombers made by Sam Mandarine. And North Brunswick will go on offense. Raiders will have the football at the 27-yard line. Kevin Sayata comes out at quarterback. Steve Betcher had a couple of nice runs in the first half. He's flanked out now, but they pitch it to Banks. Darrell Banks is across the 25-yard line to the 27. And he actually gets to the 29. 2nd down and 8.
Get out of bounds, right, John?
Split back behind Sayata, and he gives to the first man through. Banks takes a shot at the line of scrimmage and is driven back. Nice hitting. Kyoki Gonzalez was in on the play along with Scott Consolet. Yeah, 3rd down and call it 5. Ball marked at the 31. Got to get to the 37. We'll actually call it 3rd and 6. 3rd and 5, 5.5, 6. You take your pick. Here's Sayata, runs the option, flips it outside. Rockoff turns the corner, upended, and he may have enough for the 1st down. That's a nice run by Adam Rockoff. He was hit by Brian Rathbum. He's shy. He'll be a yard short. 4th down and 1. They may measure, actually. We'll see. And they will measure. Won't bring the chain all the way over. 8:54 remaining here in the 3rd. Crowd kind of quiet here on the North Brunswick side. Let's see the Raiders get something back on the board to get back in the game. Lots of time left. certainly still a ball game. And you can see right there, it's a first down for North Brunswick. So the Raiders get a big first down to begin quarter number 3. I'm sure Coach Libro would like nothing better than for his club to drive down the field here and pick up some points. At the 37, first down 10. Give as the Banks has a huge hole and drives forward across the 45-yard line to the 46. That's a nice run and good blocking at the point of attack. Big Mike Theokas, defensive tackle. Got that hole up on the left side. They run it that way again. Banks is spinning and does a great job to keep his balance. He's across midfield into Sayreville territory at the 48-yard line. Nothing fancy here. The Raiders are just taking it right to him, running the football well. Pick up a 4, second down and 6. 8 minutes and 12 seconds remaining third quarter. Up the middle, but nothing going that time. Mike MacLennan, the defensive tackle, makes the play, and Banks is hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. No gain on the play, and a third down and 6 coming up. Might have lost a yard.
36.
Mark the ball at the 49. Here's the throw, incomplete. Sayada was looking for Ruffin, who was open, but he had a roll to the left and throw, of course, with the right hand. That's a tough play. Now a fourth down coming up.
Number 40, Jeremy Kaeleigh will punt for the Raiders.
Kaeleigh is in to kick it away for the Raiders. He'll try to pin the Bombers back deep in their own territory. Burke and Fisher go back deep for Sayreville. It's a low snap taken by Kaeleigh, short kick, and it takes a good bounce, picked up by Fisher, and Tim makes a nice move and takes it straight up the field. He's across the 20-yard line to the 22. Tim Fisher, nice play by the Sayreville running back. And the Bombers have it across the 20. With 7:15 remaining, they'll mark it at the 22-yard line. That Sayreville offensive line's done a good job. Tejada, Benedict, Lefsky, Grossweiler, James Kirk. Warden carries the football. He's got a good gain. Picks up about 5. Third down and second down and 5 coming up. Eric Wharton, 600 total yards coming in, 4.5 average per carry, which is outstanding. 6.5. Burke, he rolls out. Left side is upended and picks up some quality yardage. Banks hit him first, and he's about a yard shy. It'll be third down and 1 for the Bombers at the 32-yard line.
I know, and then something before you add me.
High formation for the Bombers. First man through, looks to be Scott Mish, the fullback. It'll be close. The Raiders play it well at the line of scrimmage. But it looks to be enough for a Sayreville first down. That is. Bombers pick it up. That's the 33. 5.5 remaining here. Third quarter.
Watch the tight end.
I formation. Here's Burke. Pitches wide to Warden. He's upended at the line of scrimmage and driven down. A couple of nice defensive plays. Matt Petrillo. And also over there, Steve Barry. Pickup of a yard, second down and 9. Bombers chewing up the clock here, though, in the third quarter. 4:45 remaining. Burke straight back to throw. He fires, has a receiver. And coming out of the backfield and making the catch, Brian Rathbun. And that's a Bomber first down across the 45-yard line. Good looking throw by Burke. Brendan Burke can throw the football. He can run with it. 4.6 in the 40-yard dash. Handoff off tackle. Run to the tight side. Scott Mish, the fullback, carries. Picks up 2. Second down, 8. Ball marked at the 48-yard line. Crowd is quiet. Sayreville with an efficient drive here, just driving straight up the field. 3:45, counting down in the third quarter. 12-0, Bombers on top. High formation. And they give it to Fisher again. Timmy Fisher knocked down at the line of scrimmage. We might have lost 2 yards on the play. Abode in on the play. Tony Abode. Nice defensive play. Third down and 9.
Third and 9 from the Sayreville 47.
Ball marked at the 47. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third. Sayreville came in 4-2-1. North Brunswick at 3-4. Here is Burke back to throw over the middle. Is it caught? That's the question. No signal as of yet. North Brunswick saying it hit the ground, and I still have not seen an indication. Now it's incomplete. Took a while, but it is incomplete. Intended for Fisher. Now a 4th down, and Sayreville probably will punt it away. 4th and 9.
I got the fun key, so.
Fourth down, 9, and Burke will punt. And the Raiders drop back. Kaeleigh and Banks. Line drive kick, a good one. And it drives Banks back to the 15. He angles at the 20. Gets a couple of good blocks. Penalty marker on the play. And this will be a clip against the Raiders. Some of the fans saying he hit him from the side. I was going to say some of the officials in the stands. But it was clearly a clip.
Who's Raul? What do you got here?
And there's the call. Clipping against the Raiders. Will move them back.
Oh my God.
Clock stopped at 2:43 remaining in the third quarter. 12-0, Sayreville on top.
Half the distance, Garrett. Half the distance for inside. That's me. Half the distance.
There were actually 2 clips if you can believe it, 2 clips on one play. They'll take one. Only one penalty assessed from the spot. And that takes them all the way back inside, actually right at the 10-yard line. So a 1st and 10 for North Brunswick at the 10. This sets them back. Raiders moved the football pretty good on their first offensive series of this 3rd quarter. But since then, Sayreville has controlled the ball, kept it away from the Raiders. And North Brunswick with a long way to go. 1st down and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Sayada looks to get outside. He will not. Scott Mish on the tackle. Loss of about 3. 2nd down and 13. Moves them all the way back to the 7-yard line. 2:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And there's some jumping at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Mish, number 46, might have jumped across for Sayreville. Well, let's see if he was drawn. He was not. Offside Bombers. So it's 5 free ones for the Raiders. Give is to Banks, who has a nice run, and he might have picked up enough for the 1st down. He's across the 20 and to the 23. Darryl Banks has done a nice job. He's just a sophomore, good-looking running back, and he shows some good speed and some tough running ability. This is a player you might be hearing about in the future for the Raiders. I've not seen much of Steve Betzer. Again, it's Banks on the run. He's got good yardage. I was saying you haven't seen much of Steve Betcher here in the 2nd half. I don't know if Steve is banged up. He is banged up. I just spotted him on the sideline. He's in his, he's out of his uniform. Steve Betcher, number 32, not playing here in the 2nd half. Banks on the run. That hurts the Raiders offensively. He is truly one of the outstanding players in the Greater Middlesex Conference. And he's not able to play here in the 2nd half. Meanwhile, sophomore Darryl Banks is getting the playing time, and he's making the most of it. He's playing well. 35 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd down and 4. Big play for the Raiders as time is winding down. Sayada keeps it, turns it in. That's a nice read by the North Brunswick quarterback, and he's got a 1st down for the Raiders at the 39-yard line. The junior quarterback read the option well that time and turned it inside. And with 15 seconds winding down here in the 3rd quarter, the Raiders will keep control of the football at the 40-yard line. They may get another playoff here in the 3rd. And probably not, as Sayada watches the clock wind down, and that'll do it. 3 quarters complete in North Brunswick, and the score, Sayreville 12, North Brunswick nothing. Hear the Sayreville band in the background. They're playing one of my favorite songs. What's the name of that song? 1st down and 10. Raiders give up the middle, spinning is Banks at the 40 to the 42. Lou Brogno here. I'm all alone tonight, folks. Jeff Kurtzman under the weather. We wish him well. I'm sure he'll be back next week. TKR Channel 6 Sports crew doing an outstanding job as always on this crisp fall evening in North Brunswick. Raiders are on a drive. 2nd down and 7. Here's the pitch outside, looking to turn that corner. Is Ruffin. He will not. Good defense by the Bombers as Craig Fulton and also Rich Esandrio, the outside linebacker, got over there quickly. Pickup of about 3. Ball is marked at the 46, and it's a 3rd down and 5. Knocked away. Keoki Gonzalez had a play on it. Inside linebacker, 5'9" senior, 190 pounds. It's a 4th down and 5. And a big play here. The Raiders down by 12. They're going to go. Big play. Sayada gives. Banks has the 1st down. He's still on his feet and breaks ahead into Sayreville territory at the 42. The sophomore Darrell Banks is making a name for himself in this game. That's a nice run on a 4th down play. 1st down and 10 coming up. Here's a give. Running. Banks picks up about 2 or 3. Raiders trying to put a drive here together to get some points. So far, they've moved the ball nicely. They've got time. 10.5 remaining. Bombers are looking to step it up on D. Movement. Looks like Kirk might have jumped for the Bombers. Was he drawn off? No, he was not. They'll march it off against Sayreville. This brings it all the way down to the 32-yard line. Down 1. Sayada still has it. Looks to turn the corner. Does. He's still on his feet and turns it in as another Raider 1st down inside the 25-yard line.
9:33 belly two clear. No. Yeah, 9:30.
Bombers thought Banks might get the ball on that play. They really snapped him out of scrimmage, but Sayada kept read it, the option well again. Looks like a fine option quarterback. 1st down and 10. At the 24. This is a big drive for the Raiders. They really need to get points out of this drive to have a chance to come back. Here is Sayada to throw. Has a man open and incomplete. Intended for Rockoff. He was there, but just overthrown. Hit hard by Ed Tejada. The defensive end, 6'1", 230-pound senior. 3rd down and 10. At the 23. And the clock is moving. 9:20 remaining on the 4th. Tejada looking to throw. Fires incomplete. Intended for Banks. It would not have been enough for a 1st down. Brunswick faced with another critical fourth down. Fourth down and 10 at the 23. 9:08 remaining. They almost have to get a first down on this play in order to have a chance to come back in the game. Fourth and 10. Man in motion is Rockoff. They fake the handoff. Sciatic gets screamed. I mean, he got clocked by Michael MacLennan. What a hit. And Sciatic gets up slowly. That was a major league stick by MacLennan. Shaking off the cobwebs on that shot. Hopefully he'll be all right. That was a serious collision.
He moves again.
First and 10, Bombers take over. At the 27, pitch goes wide. Eric Warden got good yardage. Across the 30. Out near the 35-yard line. Bombers will look for ball control here, no doubt. 8.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Second down and 4.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Ball is marked at the 34-yard line. Formation. Now they go into a I formation, do the Bombers. Here is the give up the middle, and they move the pile forward towards first down yardage. That's Scott Mish on the carry. First down Bombers. They'll move the sticks. Sayreville trying to close in on its first winning season in 23 years. They'll clinch it with a victory here tonight. They'll end up the season with a matchup against East Brunswick next weekend. That obviously will be a tough game. Here's Warden. He's hit and brought back. Keoki Gonzalez. That's the wrong team, folks. Keoki Gonzalez is on Sayreville. Mike Rosano, number 58 of North Brunswick on the tackle. Second down, 10. 7 minutes remaining. High formation again. Receiver split left and right. Burke gives to Warden. He's hit at the line of scrimmage again. Rosano gets over there.
Warden off tackle. Rosano Petrillo.
Petrillo also over there. Pick up of maybe a yard. Third down and 9. The clock is winding down. 6.5 remaining. 'Fisher picks up a couple. He is short of first down yardage. Fourth down and 5 coming up. Six minutes remaining in the game. Bombers will drop back into punt formation. Burke will punt. Banks is back deep. They come and cream Burke. Penalty marker. That is roughing the kicker. Hopefully Brendan Burke is all right. He took a shot in midair. It, of course, will be an automatic first down for Sayreville.
And what, keep it steady?
Hopefully Burke is all right.
What? Hit the ball. What do you want? You called it. What do you want from me?
Sal Mistretta there. They attend to Brendan Burke. Raiders came after the punter, which is the right play in that situation. 5.5 minutes remaining. They needed something to get things going. Here's the call. It is roughing the kicker. First down, Sayreville. They'll march off the yardage. We'll stay right here. 5:37 remaining. They attend to Brendan Burke. You're very vulnerable in that type of situation. He was hit by about 2 or 3 different guys. They march it down into North Brunswick territory at the 42. And not much scoring here in the second half. 12-0 to score. All the scoring coming in the first half. But again, that Sayreville defense has been tough. The Raiders have been able to move the ball on the ground, but unable to push it into the end zone. And Burke looks like he's up. They'll help him off the field, but hopefully he will be all right. Fine player, Brendan Burke, Sayreville quarterback. He is putting some weight on both legs, so hopefully it's not too serious. I think the Raiders are contending that the ball was tipped, but it doesn't appear to be in this angle. North Brunswick coaches are talking with the referees. Of course, if the ball is hit,
Time is out while the coaches and the officials confer.
there is no penalty. There's no roughing the kicker penalty if the ball is tipped by the oncoming rush. The backup quarterback for the Bombers is number 11, Nick Lordy. 6 foot, 180 pounds. He comes in to replace Burke.
The ball is on the Raider 42-yard line.
Clock stopped, 5:37 left in the game. Ball's at the 42. Bombers break the huddle, but
Come on, team! Got over! Then you got to get the most money, champ. Yes, you.
and I think finally everything is back in order. Sayreville has the ball. First down and 10 at the 42. Lordy gives to Warden, Eric Warden. It appeared to be Warden on the carry. No, it's Scott Consulay, number 41. Picks up 5, second down and 5. 5 minutes remaining. Looks like the Bombers are on their way to their 5th win of the year. And finally a winning season. Lordy fumbles, picked up by North Brunswick. Touchdown, Raiders. Steve Barry takes it all the way. 58 yards. And the game isn't over yet. Steve Barry advances the fumble and takes it back for a North Brunswick touchdown. And they're back in the game just when we thought it looked like Sayreville was going to control the ball. 4 minutes and 52 seconds remaining, and Rockoff is in to attempt the extra point. And this is a big one. The snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is good. And keep in mind now, North Brunswick with a touchdown can win the game. 4 minutes and 52 seconds remaining. Timeout on the field. Sayreville 12, North Brunswick 7.
Highlights, scores, who's winning, who's not. For the latest updates on the teams you want to see, get the final word on Final Score. The best of local action on Final Score every Monday and Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on TKR Channel 6.
Now, just to clear up the confusion at home, folks, some of the fans watching the game, now you might say, how can you advance a fumble? Well, you can. Of course, in professional football and in high school football, you can advance a fumble. Only in college football, you cannot. That's a touchdown for the Raiders. 12-7. Onside kick is handled by the Bombers. Evan Lefsky falls on the football. Now the Bombers have got to play some ball control because North Brunswick's back in this game. It's 12-7, 4:40 and counting down in the fourth quarter.
We can't execute it any better. That's how we had it.
Backup quarterback Nick Lordy is in the game. And they give it up the middle. Pickup of about 3 or 4. Scott Mish on the carry. 2nd down and 7.
For the Bombers.
Clock is winding down. 3:55 remaining. 2nd down. 7. High formation. Scott Kaeleigh picks up 3. Big play now for Sayreville. They have a 3rd down and 3, short 3 along 4. And the Raiders also a big play for them. They'd like to stuff up the Bombers here and force them into a punt, get the ball back. 3:10, counting down. Sean Curry is wide to the left. High formation, pitch outside. Warden turns the corner, got a 1st down. Eric Warden, and that's a big 1st down for the Bombers. A 17-yard pickup. It moves the sticks inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. Under 3 minutes left in the game. Up the middle, Kaeleigh in at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Dwayne Benson makes the stop. Timeout, North Brunswick, and the Raiders want to talk it over. There's a timeout on the field. 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. The score is Sayreville 12 and North Brunswick 7.
Hi, I'm James Polos, inviting you to join me each week for Pressing Issues, TKR Channel 6's new public affairs program.
Bombers score there 2 touchdowns on a 1-yard run by Kaeleigh, a 38-yard pass from Brendan Burke to Mike MacLennan, and then the Raiders come back with a 58-yard fumble return by Steve Barry here in the 4th quarter. It's 12-7. Here's the pitch to Warden. Turns it in, a penalty marker on the play. Eric Warden has good yardage, but again, there's a marker down. They may call this one back. It also stops the clock with 2:41 left. This hurts the Bombers, obviously, as they are walking backwards. It is a clip against Sayreville. They'll march it back. The ball marked at the 43. Now keep in mind, the clock will start upon the referee's signal in high school football.
2nd and 25 for the Bombers.
41, 2nd down, 25. Burke is back in the game. He throws. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Banks. He fumbles. And Sayreville has it back. And the Bombers get a 1st down. What a berserk play. North Brunswick intercepts, fumbles it back to Sayreville. The Raiders got the break they needed. They made the play they had to make, and they give it back on the fumble. And the clock is stopped with 2:26 left. 12-7 the score. Sayreville on top, and we'll take a break. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left in the 4th. In which they get the ball back after the interception. Interception and fumble. 1st down and 10. They'll run it now. Warden up the middle. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. Driven back. Lakatos and Benson make the tackle. But the clock is winding down. 2:14. 2nd down, Bombers. 2:06 and winding down. Obviously, Sayreville is in no hurry. Under 2 minutes left in the game. A helpless feeling for the Raiders now. All they can do is watch the clock move. Try to strip the ball. Here's the pitch to Warden. He turns it in. Warden's got a 1st down. Still on the 3 fumbles. No, they say he was down. They will say he's down. And Eric Warden with another big run gives Sayreville another 1st down. And one of the Bombers is down on the field. It looks to be Warden. It's been a hard-hitting game. Ball is marked inside the 40 at the 37, but more importantly, Sayreville has a 1st down, and that might have done it. We're going to take a short timeout. 1:37 left in the game. 12-7 Bombers.
They're right there. Now listen. You got to cause a fumble.
You have to cause a fumble. That's exactly what the Raiders have to do here with a 1st down and 10 by Sayreville. It's really their only hope as they trail 12-7. They're still working on Eric Warden on the far sideline. It looks like he's about ready to get up, and he seems to be okay as he hobbles off the field. That's a good sign.
Number 44,
their first winning season in 23 years. Last time Sayreville finished over 500 was in 1968. Give right up the middle as they push the pile again. Kaeleigh. Picks up about 6. Second down and 5, but that's really inconsequential at this point. A minute remaining in the game. Unless something wild happens, and in this game you never know. We've seen it. Sayreville is going to win. Kaeleigh picks up a couple. Another player down, and appears to be all right. Banks, who has played a terrific game for North Brunswick. The Raiders have given it their all. They have played well. And they take their last timeout with 35 seconds remaining. The Raiders will obviously lose this game, and they drop to 3 and 5. We'll keep it right here during this break. The Bombers will go to 5-2-1, a very successful season. They will have an opportunity for victory number 6. You'll be able to see the back of your hand next week against East Brunswick. That'll be a tough one to get, as the Bears are having a terrific season. But Sayreville, with that defense, will have a chance. One of the best defenses around. They've got a shot. That's assistant coach Guido DeTherese here at North Brunswick. He's the head baseball coach. Guido is. Third down and 3. Burke goes down on a knee. Once your knee hits, you're down.
Get the ball! Let him get the ball! Hurry up!
25 seconds, clock winding down. 4th down. That's of no consequence. I'm not even sure that Sayreville has to snap another play. 10 seconds winding down, and the celebration begins on the Sayreville sidelines. Look at Sal Mistretta. He's a happy head coach. His club is going to have their first winning season in 23 years. The Bombers win it. Sayreville 12, North Brunswick 7. A well-played football game by both teams. And congratulations to Sayreville as they win their 5th game of the season. For North Brunswick, they played a pretty good ball game and lost to a good team. And the Raiders, I'm sure, will be all ready to go against South Brunswick next week. That's it. The final score from North Brunswick: Sayreville 12, North Brunswick 7. For the rest of the Channel 6 Sports Crew, I'm Lou Brogno. Thanking you very much for joining us. Join us next week for Central Jersey High School football. Take care, everyone.